Hey up, and welcome back to another Restrap how-to video. Today we're nice and simple. We're looking at the two Restrap saddlebags that we have in our core range. We've got the 8 litre that I'm holding and the 14 litre. Kind of makes sense that the more stuff you want to carry, the bigger bag that you will bring. It's not always quite that simple. For some people, if you know that you're going to pack light and you're always going to pack light, then smaller bag may be the one that you want to go for. One thing that's definitely worth bearing in mind is that the dry bags and the holsters are not compatible between the two, so there is no way that you're going to squeeze a 14 litre into the smaller holster. And likewise, if you try and put the 8 litre dry bag in the 14 litre holster, it's just going to rattle around. There's not enough room to draw it in. Okay, so moving on to fitting. This is the 14 litre holster, and first thing to note is that we haven't got the dry bag in there as well. At the moment, it's so much easier to fit if you haven't got the dry bag full already. First thing that we've got here is 2 sets of Velcro. I'll just do the first Velcro, not worrying too much about how tight it is to start off with, and then undo the clips that hold in here, and then we're literally just wrapping both of those around the saddle rails. And again, not worrying too much about things being tight to start off with, it's just attaching it to the bike. Cool, there we go, that's the other side on as well. So then move back to the front and onto the seat post. And generally I try to just wriggle things down as far as they want to go. It's really useful at preventing any sway at all, and really locks the saddlebag into place. And then this is the first time that really want to wrap this round the seat post as tight as you can get. And then finally again with the secondary strap around and kind of yard on that nice and tight, and bring it around and just touch the Velcro on the back side of the holster there. Then move on to actually popping the dry bag in. One thing that I do tend to do is just make sure that the side straps are relatively loose so you can get the dry bag as deep as possible into the holster. One thing that if I can do, is I will actually place the dry bag empty into the holster and fill it as you go. It's not always possible to do that. If you try and make sure that you've got that seated all the way down into the holster, so there's no gap at the front. We've got really simple clip mechanism there. Pull down on that nice and tightly, and then move on to the side straps. And the same again on the other side. And we do actually have these sliding clips here. There you go, so you can see that there. And do the same on the other side, just to tidy away the straps. There we are. And then we've got a tail here, give it another check. And can hold that in place on the clip there. And that's roughly about it really. One thing that I always do is, once I've ridden it for a couple of minutes, I will just double check everything again, just as everything's settled down, as you've gone over a couple of bumps. And it's really worth just making sure that things are nice and secure, because it just keeps everything really stable. I mean, as you can see there, there's like no movement at all there. And one thing that, either if you're really not paying attention to how you load things, or sometimes if you're putting something ridiculously heavy at the far end, then it can cause a bit of sway. So what you want to make sure you do is bringing like heavier things down to the front, and just concentrating on making sure that you've got the straps nice and tight, and then you'll have something that's super stable and secure.